Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports. It's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports. Time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Dudes Who Bet Sports for another week. Man, Papa Dude, you've got to been just feeling bored almost. It's been a while since you've been on the air.
I know. And that's your fault, not mine. So
You're right. No, that is my fault.
Yeah. Now today was my fault, but
yeah.
Duty calls today. Yeah, I'm raring to go. Let's do it.
Three podcasts in a row. You had Blinkers Off, and then you got Magic Mike, and now you got us. It's gonna be a good one. We got a lot to go over today as far as college football and NFL picks. I wanted to start, since you haven't been on the air and we haven't got to talk to you about the Breeders' Cup. I wanted to start with the Breeders' Cup. You kind of told me, hey, I didn't care a ton about Friday. Really enjoyed Saturday. What were some of your favorite moments of Saturday?
Yeah, the Friday thing. I know I'm one of those guys. I'm not interested in the 2-year-olds. I don't care because I've never really gotten anything out of it. They change so much by the time they start running again as 3-year-olds, and I never can really tell who's going to emerge in May and on down the line. So I don't pay much attention to it, but I may be a little weird, but I thought Saturday was fantastic because the good superstar horses won. And I think that's a big boost for racing. I really do. I loved it was chalky. Yes. So for the better, maybe not. But for horse racing, I think those big time horses winning makes a difference.
I think it was good. And I mean, there was a little bit of chalk, but also, the late pick 5, it was hit on for the wagering guide, hit it on a $96 ticket. It paid $1,300. I mean, that's not bad.
No.
The trifecta, also on the wagering guide or the wagering Bible that hit in the turf sprint, paid $558 for 50 cents.
Yeah.
I mean, so there were prices to be had, and you could kind of get heavy with some of those opinions with the chalk, and it worked out. So I was with you. I thought Saturday was the best day of the year for racing.
Oh, no doubt.
Cody's Wish gets a win. That was fun to kind of kick off the Breeders' Cup races. Was that your best? I mean, was that the thing that made you feel the best, or what was kind of your favorite?
Well, I'm so glad. I love that horse, and I'm glad that was just a really gutty win. Yeah. And I'm glad that happened. I gave up on Goodnight Olive. Yeah, she beat me the last time. I believe it was the last time we had a Bible. I think she ran or sometime.
Yep.
Beat me. So I gave up on her, and then she came on, ran fantastic. Idiomatic, I hit that one. It made me feel good. I like that horse a lot. You know how much I like Elite Power.
Yep.
And that was my favorite. That and No Balls, just because of the name. But
I definitely thought of you. I picked Elite Power as well, and I definitely thought of you though, because when we were covering him in the summer in Saratoga, you were really a big fan of his. And was there? I mean, that was just a no doubt winner by him. That was awesome.
Yeah. Frank said something, I think it was on Elite Power. Do we now put him into the superstar ranks? Is this a superstar type horse with the season he's had and the record he has? And I think you do. No Balls with the name is fantastic. And that tell me what you think of White Barrio and how this horse has just emerged as one of our better horses. It took a while.
Yeah.
I don't think that classic was super strong, but still, what an effort.
I was super happy with it, obviously, picking him to win the race. I thought on paper that his race that he ran in the Whitney was just better than everybody else. Yep. I mean, I think no matter what you looked at, when you looked at metrics or just replays or whatever, that was the race that was much better than everybody else. And then it was just a question of how is he doing? Is he going to be able to, replicate that? And honestly, I give a lot of the credit to Magic, who was there every day on the roof, and every day he would report to me and he'd be like, man, White Barrio looks fantastic. He looks so good. Like, he looks like he's put on weight, blah, blah, blah. And, we were standing there at the rail as they were going to the gate for the classic, and White Barrio walked right by us. And I said, I don't think he's going to lose. He looked unbelievable. So he gets to Dutro, and I don't really know how or why, but he just is a different horse. And I mean, well, you watch that race back, you never think he's going to lose at any point. I mean, he was just awesome.
Yeah, he looked like a classic winner should look. You know what I mean? He was, and
he was awesome. I was going to ask you this. So we got into LAX on Thursday at I think it was 4:00, 3 or 4:00. Can't remember. 3:30, I think. Let's say 3:30. Our Airbnb was 28 miles from LAX. How long do you think it took to get to our Airbnb?
Well, obviously, it's got to be a long time. I don't think you'd be mentioning this. I'm going to go 2 hours.
Yes. It was a little over 2 hours.
Oh, my God.
To get from LAX.
What time did you land?
About 3:30.
Their time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
think what it would have been had you landed at 5.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. We got off the plane. I got the map out. I'm like, oh God, it's bad. And so we tried to get an Uber first. It was $300 for an Uber.
Oh God.
Yeah. So we got a Lyft. It was $100, about $115 for a Lyft. Yeah. But 2 hours to get to LAX, or from LAX to get to our Airbnb. 2 hours to go 28 miles. And, you talk about LA traffic. It's not like, the interstate right down the road from where we live. It's a 2-lane and, it never gets backed up. But if it does, it's 2 lanes. This is like 6 lanes of just solid traffic. Like, so I don't know. It was nuts getting there.
So you were just stopped.
Completely. Like for an hour at least of the trip, we were going 1 mile an hour or stopped. Yeah.
Golly.
It was crazy. Yeah. And so you're in there and some guy you don't know, he couldn't speak English, so we couldn't have to talk to him, but still it's just like, this is wild. So that was wild. That was definitely a trip in and of itself right there. It took significantly less Sunday morning getting to the airport. So that was good. But that was kind of some crazy things. We met a lot of people, Papa Dude, and they all were asking where you were at. They were not happy that you weren't there. Shoddy can vouch for it. We met. No, we didn't meet Pedlo, but we saw Pedlo. We saw Michael Lawson. Yeah, Pedlo was there. Pedlo flew out with Toby Keith, actually.
Isn't that something? That's
You're right. Cool. Yeah. So as we were driving 2 hours just to get to our Airbnb, Pedlo, just a private plane, just got out there with Toby. So that's nice. No, we met Pedlo. We saw Pedlo. We met Michael Lawson for the first time. He was asking about you. We met Rodney, the USC Rodney.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Good guy. And this was the thing. So we get to dinner Saturday night with John White, and John White was just, I think he was hurt that you weren't there. He wants to meet you so bad. So
my goodness, John better get a better life, I guess.
Right?
Just give me my number and have him call me. And make sure I have a couple hours. But
I was going to say, if you get to talking on the phone with John, it's not going to be 5 minutes.
Well,
so.
I can't talk horse racing for 2 hours, I don't think.
Well, you wouldn't have to talk much. No, John, we hung out with him on Saturday.
That is neat.
What's that?
That's neat.
He was. Yeah, he talked about how much he enjoys what we do, and
really,
he's fantastic. A big Papa Dude fan.
It made my day.
I know. It was really cool. And I said we're gonna. I'll have to bring him out here. The Breeders' Cup's not here next year, but maybe we'll go to Santa Anita, or something. Honestly, I think you're in it now, where you're gonna have to start going to something.
I know
that you've got fans. So
it's tough when you get popular.
I know, right? And it's tough. Spending time with John. I hadn't seen John face to face in 4 years. God, just what a I don't know. I can't even describe it. Encyclopedia of racing, and talking about things that happened 50 years ago like they happened yesterday. I mean, it was incredible. He's got so many funny stories on guys like Bob Baffert and all kinds of things. So that was fun. Highlight of the
I saw a picture of you with Ryan.
Yes, and that was
I've never seen Ryan actual seen Ryan.
That was truly, Ryan's probably my best friend in the world, and I hadn't seen him in 4 years. Got to see him and spend time with him was great, but we did something, and I really think this was the catalyst to turn the whole weekend around.
Okay.
And I think you'll be proud of this.
Okay.
So Somich always brings a football with him, and we go throw the football around.
I saw some video of that.
So Friday, him and Ryan Stillman go throw the football around, and we could tell Ryan's never thrown a football.
I saw that.
Yeah. It wasn't good.
No.
Ryan grew up in Beverly Hills. He never played a sport. He never anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, I said, hold on. Before we go out here and throw this football, we're going to teach you how to throw a football. And he said, I don't think I can do it. I said, I know we can teach you to throw it in 5 minutes. Ryan's not unathletic. He just never did any sports, right? So we get him out there. Somich teaches him how to hold the ball. We're trying to teach him. He's getting close, but it's like he's just babying it. He's afraid to throw it. And finally, Somich said, Ryan, take that ball, look at Aaron's face, and you just throw it as hard as you can right at him. Somich said, I guarantee you're not going to scare him with it, all right? He's going to be fine. He took that ball, he threw it, perfect spiral, and I knew right then, we've really done something good today.
Oh my gosh.
So listen to this. Ryan had never drank an alcoholic beverage. He had two. Yeah, he had never drank. Well, I shouldn't say never, but barely ever.
Yeah.
So on Saturday, he learned how to throw a football.
Yeah.
He drank 2 alcoholic beverages. And for the first time ever, he found his car in the parking lot without us helping.
Oh my gosh.
He's a man now. He's a man. Yeah. It was beautiful. It was just a perfect spiral.
So I want to know, did Shoddy stay with you guys?
Yes, Shoddy was with us.
Shoddy.
Yeah, I know. Shoddy.
Thought you were a wholesome girl. I'm beginning to wonder.
Shoddy was in the bunk beds. We had the one room had bunk beds, so her and Ryan were in that.
Ryan and Shoddy were in the bunk beds?
Yes.
Text me later, Shoddy. Need to hear some of this off the air.
Oh man, yeah. So that was a good time as well.
Was Shoddy out there throwing the football?
I think Shoddy threw it once. She was more watching than anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was good. It was good. So anyway, like I said, I knew the weekend was going to be good when we taught Ryan how to throw the ball. So
that's right. I did see him throwing the ball before you taught him.
The Friday situation, Somich and I kind of got together and said, all right, we got to do something for the next one, before we throw it with him again. We got to help him. So yeah, it was pretty funny.
And that's typical Somich, can't take anything lightly.
I was with him though.
Oh, you were in agreement that it had to be done.
He should be able to throw it better than when he threw it. He was capable, that was the thing.
Well, I'm glad he is now a man for sure.
He is a man for sure. Trying to think any stories.
Throws a baseball like that.
I think he could throw a baseball really nice, actually.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Last story from the Breeders' Cup, non-horse racing related. John Hernandez. You know John Hernandez, right?
The guy at Prairie Meadows?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, he thinks he's like the lord of the press box, I guess. He's supposed to be babysitting us. What's that?
At Santa Anita?
At the Breeders' Cup, for some reason, he's always there.
Okay.
It's funny because I text Kelly Von Hemel this, and he's like, why is he out there? But anyway, that's another story. He came over, and he said, hey, this table is just so loud. And it's like, I'm sitting there working. I didn't even hear us this time.
It was your table.
Our table, yeah. And he said, you guys, this is a working press box. I'm like, well, I am sitting here working. And he said, I would hate to get I can't even think of the guy's name now involved, the head of the Breeders' Cup. Anyway, I'd hate to get him involved with you guys, And I turn around, I'm like, you're John Hernandez. I'm not really afraid of you. Jim Gluckson. I'd hate to get Jim over here. So I walk out. And Jared goes, "Why don't you get Jim over here, John? Bring him over here and see what he'll do." Because Jim and get along very well. So evidently, Jim came over and it was no big deal, like we all thought. And anyway, we were walking out, and I thought, I'll go talk to John. So I did have a small conversation with John after that happened. So that's it.
Were you as mad at John as you were on our last show that we did?
Yeah, like I don't think John and I are friends anymore.
Well, I don't think it's a big loss.
I didn't really cry over it.
No, he's kind of a weird dude, if you ask me. And
yeah. Well, the one thing I know for sure is John Hernandez is not telling me to do anything ever in my life. Period.
No,
like that's not going to happen.
No, this wasn't during the OU football game.
No, this was on Friday, and yet this was the funny thing.
This was Friday.
We were literally talking to a colleague. So this was how it happened. We're talking to a colleague from the Blood Horse, who was complimenting us on how we kind of, we're relaxed. We have a lot of fun. And I was like, "Oh, thanks." Actually, I don't even know that I even spoke because I was actually working. And anyway, that's when he came over, when this lady was talking to a couple people at the table and said, "Oh, this is a working press box." It's like, "Oh, okay." So anyway, that happened.
Lord of the press box, John.
He seems to think he is. Yeah.
Huh.
He really didn't work out that well for him, though, in the end.
No. Sounds like he got an earful.
I don't know if he chose to ignore what I said to him or he didn't hear it or what, but it was very interesting. And the guys don't even believe that it happened. And it's like, why would I make that up? But it's like, I may have said something to him that probably shouldn't have been said. And he kind of just either blew it off or he didn't hear it or he didn't understand exactly what I said to him. I don't know.
So it was you, Jared, Magic, Shoddy. Who else?
Somich.
5 of you?
Yeah, and literally everybody was working. And the lady came over, talked to us, and then that's when that all happened. Yeah.
And how close were you to anyone else?
I don't even, not that close. I don't know. I don't know. I don't ever go in the press box. I did on that Friday night after the races because that's where everybody was going. So my options were to sit alone or go in there. And the answer was to sit alone. That would have been the best option, but I went in there. So needless to say, I didn't go back in there ever, and before or after. And I knew better than to go in there in the first place. So that's the thing. There was like 8 people in the room. I mean,
does he know Teresa? And wasn't that her name, Teresa?
I think they might be together. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh God.
Yeah. And listen, nothing better about sitting alone. I would have enjoyed that immensely versus getting another threat from that idiot in the press box. So
had you ever seen him at the Breeders' Cup?
I see him every year. Yeah. And every year I try to be overly nice to him. And every year he acts like he doesn't know who I am. And it's just like, you know what, dude?
I can't imagine anyone even says anything to him. Period.
I say, "Hey, Prairie Meadows, man, really enjoy your stuff." And he looks at me like I'm from outer space. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I don't know what I could really do to be nicer. And so anyway, yeah. Any other questions?
I love it when he gives the rundown of the 5-horse race at Prairie Meadows and picks 4 of the 5. I like that. I'm going to go with the 1-4-5-3. 1-4-5-3
Right. I don't know. He doesn't. I don't know. I don't. I'm not going to get into it. I continually to be amazed when you go into that area. It's just going in. It's like going to your own funeral in a way. And I don't know why. I don't. Again, end of the day, it was on me for ever going in there. I knew better. I'm pretty sure I told the group I really shouldn't be in here. Because something like this always happens because I'm sitting over here working and anyway. Yeah. Anything else you want to know before we move on?
No, that's interesting stories though. Really.
Yeah.
John White wanting to meet me has pretty much, swelled my already swelled head. That's unbelievable.
Honestly, we were talking about it. You need to go like to a Saturday at Santa Anita, and then you need to go to Matt Denny's after. It's such a, I don't know. It's just really cool. It's Arcadia doesn't really feel like it should be in California. It's a really, I mean, it feels like a Midwest town almost.
Really?
Yeah. And then Santa Anita, I mean, and Shotty, first time she was there, and I'm sure she could. You'll never go to a track as pretty as that track. Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. I know. Yeah. And I was well behaved all week, except when somebody made me upset. So, all right. Which was only one person. Okay. Let's move on. You ready to move on?
I'm ready.
Thank God. That's it. I've been on so many shows talking about this.
I know.
It's time to close the book on it.
Yeah.
It does kind of, Arcadia feels like a small town. Yeah. It really does. Yeah. All right. You want to talk football?
Let's do it.
All right. This is going to be interesting because last year I was the one going nuts about OU and how bad it is. And you were kind of calming me down. And I feel we're not talking about them yet. We're going to talk about it on the show. I feel like the roles have reversed.
I've calmed down a little bit. But
I don't think you're still. Let's get into it. Virginia and Louisville. Let's kick it off tonight.
All right.
What a game. Virginia 2-7, Louisville 8-1. Louisville's a 20.5 point favorite here at home. They got to take care of business, right?
They do.
Yeah.
Pretty impressed with them, really. And that's right, Shotty. Rub it in. Arkansas won. Anyway, 20.5 points. What do you think? Is that too many on a Thursday night? I don't think so. I think they roll Virginia tonight.
I think they do too. It's at home. I think they'll be focused. I think they've got everything still to play for. I think they refocus and win. I'm with you. Let's go Louisville to kick this thing off. All right, the big one. Michigan and Penn State. Penn State had test number 1 and failed. This is the first test, however, for Michigan.
Right.
It is on the road. Michigan's a 4.5 point favorite. Who you got here?
I think they got a break with it being at 11 o'clock. I'm a little surprised this game is at 11.
Me too.
Would have thought this would have been a prime time. I don't really know the reason why.
Yeah.
I don't think Penn State can beat them. I don't think they're good enough. And we don't know about Michigan. There are lots of things to get distracted about if you're Michigan with all the Harbaugh stuff that's going on. But I think they're better. And, it's their first big test, so we don't know for sure what will happen maybe if they get socked in the mouth. They haven't really been socked in the mouth. Penn State's physical. I like Michigan to win, and I think I'll pick them to cover. I really do. I wouldn't be surprised if it's under the 44.5. I'm not sure Penn State scores more than 10.
Well, I think that's the key. I think it's going to have to go under for Penn State to win. I saw what Penn State did against Ohio State, and I just don't have a ton of confidence they're going to score a lot. Their defense is really good, though, and I do think they'll test Michigan offensively. But in the end, I just don't think they'll score enough. I don't think Penn State can score.
I could see 20-10.
I could too.
Yeah.
I could too.
I would definitely think about taking the under in this one.
Yep. I would take
that total is because Michigan has scored a lot of points, but they haven't played anybody that's any good. What's their best win? Rutgers, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
They really haven't played anyone, and that overinflates their offensive totals. And Penn State's defense is good, so I think I would go under that.
You and Kevin B on the same wavelength. Right as you said it, he typed it 20-10 written all over it.
I think so.
I think 20 is the magic number for Michigan. I think if they get to 20, they're going to win. And
I do too.
I just don't see Penn State being able to score enough to do it. And the Michigan offense I think it's just pretty good, really. And I think they'll be able to score enough. I'm with you guys. I think Michigan gets it done. I don't know. I mean, being at home is a plus, but it not being at night is a plus in the favor of Michigan. I think this is going to be a comfortable win for Michigan when it's all said and done. All right. Alabama and Kentucky next. This is an Alabama team that every week we're like, I don't know, maybe this is the week. And they just keep winning. And you know what? I feel like they're getting better. I feel like every week I watch, it's like, yeah, they're getting a little better. Go on the road to play Kentucky. They could be tricky here. 11-point favorites for Alabama. Who you got?
There's two teams I'm going to talk about today that are well coached. This is one of them.
Okay.
This is a team that realized what they had to do, and they realized it quickly. They have a coaching staff that knows what the hell is going on.
Yep.
And this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take the personnel you have and get a scheme that's going to win for you. Yep. And that's what they've done. And like you said, they've gotten better every week. This isn't going to be a game. I think they're going to smear them. I really do. I don't think Kentucky's that good. I think Alabama's going to go up there and roll, unless they're a little flat after the LSU game, which they could be. I just think Alabama's playing about as well as anybody. I really do.
I'm with you. I've been super impressed. And
yes.
Yeah, Kevin B's right. Milroe can't throw, but it hasn't mattered.
That's because they're coached, Kevin.
Yep.
He makes a throw when he has to.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, here's the deal. They have taken what he can do well, throw the ball deep, and they've taken other little things that he can do well, and they've kind of just built the offense around what he does well, and they're good enough.
Yeah. And they've taken advantage too. And it's not to do with them. The SEC's not quite as good as it has been, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're not either. And they're passing every test.
Would you agree with this comment? Kevin says this may be Saban's best coaching job. This feels like an 8-4 type of team.
Absolutely.
I agree
100%.
too. You watch those Alabama teams where they were better, you know. I think those previous Alabama teams would beat this one pretty easy.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, but it's just crazy.
I know back when they were struggling, you and I were talking, this could be it for him. You know, he didn't really look real interested, not to me, kind of like when they went to South Florida and almost lost that game. He wasn't just going crazy over there on the sidelines. It was like, we're not any good. Yeah. And I was thinking to myself, he's getting up there in age. This could be it for him. And then boom, they've turned around and they've beaten Mississippi. What are they? Ranked 9th, I think. And they've beaten LSU and Texas A&M. I mean, they've answered all the tests so far.
Honestly, I think if they played Texas now, they'd beat them.
Oh, I do too.
I just think Texas got them in a situation where they hadn't figured out how the hell they could win.
That's right.
You know?
Well, obviously they hadn't, because they turned around and didn't even play the kid that's quarterbacking now the next week.
Yep.
So they were not happy with him.
No.
At all. And then they realized, hey, he's the best one we got. So let's build around him and see what we can do.
Yep. It's a great job. He's done a great job without any doubt. Anyway, but yeah, I'm with you, by the way. I think Alabama will go up to Kentucky for them, I should say, and get it done. I think they out-athlete Kentucky. I think Kentucky's like a bunch of like tryhards, but I don't think their talent is just great. So, all right, you want to talk about good coaching jobs? Kansas is 7-2. I mean, they're doing a great job there at Kansas. They host Texas Tech this week. Kansas is a 4-point favorite. Now, what I'll say, Kansas is the type of team that could lose a game like this, because they're not like gonna come out and just roll the ball out and we're gonna pound you. They got to play well.
They do.
I think they will, though. Only a 4-point favorite. What do you think about this Kansas Texas Tech game?
I was super impressed with them last week.
Agree.
I didn't see any of it, but I thought they might go to Iowa State and get beat after beating Oklahoma, not being quite ready to play. And Iowa State has been playing well, and they didn't have much trouble with them. That's a sign of a really good team and a well-coached team. I don't think Tech can beat them. Give me Kansas by double digits.
All right, I'm with you. I think Kansas gets it done. Tech, kind of an overrated team at the start of the season. They still don't look very good. So I'm with you there. Give me the Jayhawks in that one. Tulane and Tulsa. Tulane has kind of been the king of winning close games that maybe shouldn't be all that close. This is another one. They're at home, 23.5-point favorite. The bottom line is they're 8-1.
Yeah.
What do you think about this game? Will they cover this week?
I don't think they should be ranked, to be honest. I like Tulane a lot, so I follow them some. They were
Yeah.
lucky to beat East Carolina last week. It was 13-10. That's not good. Yeah, $3 tickets at Tulane, and that's crazy.
Number 23 in the country.
Tulsa's got they're awful.
They
really,
seemed like Tulsa seemed like they were getting a little better, and then they've fallen off.
Yeah, they have. So if they don't cover this,
Hmm.
they got some problems at Tulane. I think if they don't blow them off.
I think today or this week they get a win. I mean, I think they get a cover. I mean, I should say, yeah. I don't know. This next one might be a little tricky. Arizona, they're playing really well. They're now ranked. They're 10.5-point favorites on the road against Colorado. Colorado's been losing, but they haven't been just awful.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have enough left to maybe pull a little bit of an upset here? What do you think?
I think this has got a chance.
Yeah.
At an upset. If Colorado is still got some fight left in them, I think that's kind of what you were saying. Do they still have, or is the season ruined for them? Because a bowl game is looking kind of iffy at this point. Arizona is coming off of 2 giant wins for them.
Yeah.
I think it was Oregon State and UCLA back to back, right?
Yep. Yes.
So they beat 2 ranked teams back to back, and you could look it up. I bet it's been years since that's happened. And now they got to go on the road after doing that. Colorado's capable of scoring some points. So it's all going to be about that. Are they going to be able to score enough? And I don't think they can. That 10.5 is pretty high, though. I think Colorado can play this close. Didn't they play at Oregon State to win the 7 last week, I think?
Yes, they did. Yep.
Yeah, I think this line's too high. I don't know if they can beat them, but this is one of those games that you look at and say, this could happen. Colorado could beat them.
I'm going to take Colorado plus 10.5 in this one. I don't know that they're going to win. I bet they give Arizona a scare. This is a situation. Arizona is usually not ranked, and they're usually not big favorites. And so now you got both of those things going. I know, hey, this is a pretty sharp Arizona team.
It is.
Compared to what they usually are, I should say.
Well, it's a great coaching job.
Fantastic. Yeah, he's done a good job. But this will be a test.
That's right.
To me, the difference between like an Arizona or an Oregon is if Oregon goes to Colorado, it's not going to be a game. Where it could be a game. And if it's close, we could see something weird. I still think Arizona wins, but I'm going to take the points in Colorado in that one. All right, KSU, Kansas State, they're 21-point favorites against Baylor. Boy, Kansas State really blew it. They could have beaten Texas and didn't. Do they bounce back here? Baylor's pretty bad. That helps.
Baylor's awful.
Yep.
K-State blew it, like you said. They totally blew it. They had the game won. Yep. Tremendous comeback. Thought it was over. It's 27-7. I thought this baby is over. And the next thing I know, it's 27-21. By the way, they missed an extra point. They had one blocked, I think, 2. Just a real circus. And still had the game won and had it first and goal on the 3, I think.
Yeah.
Went backwards. And instead of this was in overtime, and Texas had to kick a field goal. Instead of kicking the field goal and tying it and playing another overtime, they went for it from like the 6-yard line or 5. It was, I don't understand that. So I don't see how they can get back up for that, but they are playing a pretty poor team. That's a lot of points. I would find something better to bet. I could see this one maybe being a little closer than 21.
They're not exactly an explosive team either, and that kind of worries you.
Yeah.
I think they'll cover this though. Baylor's pretty bad, but you're right. You don't know because that was sometimes you get beat and sometimes you just blow it, and it just felt like they blew it.
Yeah, they've been playing so well.
Yeah,
they get that one. They go to 7-2. They're probably going to make the Big 12 championship game again.
Yeah,
and they are the defending Big 12 champions.
Yeah,
and now that's pretty much a wash for them. So. That's a tough loss for them.
Yeah, that's a bad one for sure. All right, let's go to the game that used to be, boy, this used to be something special, an old rivalry. Now, not as much. Miami, they're at least better. They're 6-3. Florida State up there, number 4 in the country at 9-0. Florida State's a 14-point favorite here at home. What do you think? Can the Hurricanes muster any kind of a battle here and keep this thing close? What do you think is going to happen?
I think they're terrible. I don't think they're very good.
I don't think Miami's very good at all.
No, I think Florida State's going to be ready. They've kind of bumbled around the last couple of weeks on the road, and they were in trouble up at Pittsburgh last Saturday. It was a long time before they blew that game open. I think they're going to be ready for this one. I'm picking them to cover.
I do too. I think they're going to get it done. I have a dislike for Miami's football, not in general, just this football team. I don't think is very good. So I'm with you. I'm going to go Florida State in that one as well. Utah on the road taking on Washington. Washington, a big win last week. Kind of their offense got right. Of course, they're playing JV team, but Utah has a JV offense. Defensively, they're pretty good. We've seen Washington before they got to play USC. We've seen them really struggle back-to-back weeks against teams they shouldn't. What do you think? I mean, I don't really like this Utah team because of the offense. Do you give them any shot in Washington this weekend?
I can't, because I saw what Oregon did to them. Yeah. And that was at Utah, right? Yeah. And Washington, it's a matter of an opinion. I don't think they're better than Oregon, but they're right there with them. This game's in Seattle. Utah's ranked. I don't think they can. I don't think they can stay with them. I don't think they can score enough. Yeah. So give me Utah, or give me Washington. I'm going to pick them to cover.
I'm with you. I don't think Utah can score enough either. This is the ultimate, man. If they had their quarterback, this might be 9-0 versus 9-0. Yeah. You know it, because that's really all they're missing. They just can't move the ball well enough.
And consistently.
College football, you get into situations, you got to be able to move it, and they just can't. So yeah, I'm with you. This is a very interesting game next. Tennessee on the road to take on Missouri. Both teams 7-2. I think I would classify both these teams as good, not great. This is a huge game for Missouri. They lost at home against LSU in a game they should have won. They played Georgia down to the wire.
They did.
This is a game Missouri needs to win. They're 2-point underdogs. Tennessee's the favorite. That surprised me. What do you think?
Well, to me, this is maybe the toughest game to pick. I don't think Tennessee's great. Could you say both of these teams might be overachieving just a little?
Yes.
Yeah. Especially, I don't know. Missouri, like I said, we were talking about them last week. They're overlooked, but they're 7-2. This is another just very quiet, fantastic coaching job. Their quarterback is playing so well, and they've got maybe, other than Marvin Harrison Jr. at Ohio State, the best wide receiver in the country.
They look like the old when Missouri had Chase Daniel type of team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're better in Tennessee at home. At home. If it was the other way around, if the game was in Knoxville, I might feel different. I think they're going to win. So I'm going to pick Missouri in an upset.
I took Missouri in this game as well. I think you said it as simple as you could say it. I think they're better than Tennessee.
Yep.
I don't think Tennessee's a bad football team by any stretch, but I don't think they're great. So I'm with you. I'm going to take Missouri as well. That kind of makes me vomit in my mouth a little bit to say that, but I'll take the Tigers to win that one. All right, let's go on. Ultimate letdown game possibly here for Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State goes on the road to take on Central Florida. Oklahoma State, a 2.5-point favorite here. What do you think about this game? This is a tricky one.
Well, this is the other team I'm going to talk about, and it pains me greatly to talk about them in such high regard as I'm going to.
Yeah.
You talk about a coaching job.
It's a good one.
Mike Gundy is weird. Let's get that out right now. He's a strange dude. This son of a gun can coach. If you saw Oklahoma State early in the season, they had no idea what they wanted to do on offense. They were clueless.
Yeah.
They were awful. They got ran out of their own stadium by South Alabama, which is just average.
Yep.
33-7.
Yep.
Then they went to Iowa State and got beat. They were hopeless. And somehow, mysteriously, in the bye week, they settled on a quarterback, put him in a scheme that he can excel in, found a running back, simplified everything, and are undefeated since.
And this is his best job ever.
It's a fantastic job.
They were one of the worst teams in the country.
Everybody had written them off.
Yeah. And for good reason.
They barely beat Central Arkansas in the home.
Yes.
And then suddenly you turn around and you're 7-2. You're in the driver's seat to get to the Big 12 championship game.
Mm-hmm.
And you're only a 2.5-point favorite at Central Florida. I tell you what, it would not surprise me one bit if they get beat. Because he's taken a team that's not very talented and done a miraculous job with them. They're not that good.
Nope.
Now, they've gotten lucky. They don't have to play Texas.
Yeah.
But if you'll remember, from the bye week, they came back and beat the shit out of Kansas State.
Yep.
They have beat Kansas.
Yep.
And they beat Oklahoma last week, but they didn't beat them. Oklahoma beat themselves. But it doesn't matter. They still won.
Yep.
So that's 3 of the best teams in the Big 12 that they've beat.
Yep.
This is a fantastic job. He should be the coach of the year if they win out. No doubt.
Well, who are you taking in the game? What do you, I mean,
having
all
said
that
all
being
that,
said,
I'm taking UCF in a big upset.
We talk about these lines all the time. This one is the one that sticks out the most. I mean, I don't know. I
think it's going to be tough.
I think it's going to be a really tough game. I think UCF is better than that 4-5 record.
They are.
I think Oklahoma State's going to be flat.
I don't see how they can help but not be flat.
I still think they beat UCF. I just don't think they're going to have to beat them. But I get it.
I don't have the guts to pick against them either.
Yeah. I think it'll be like a scary game, but I think they're going to win. I really do.
It's going to be close. I think they'll have to win late.
Yep. All right. Thank God Iowa's ranked, because this is a game we were going to have to talk about. It's Iowa. It's Rutgers. It's what it's all about. 2:30 in the afternoon on the Big Ten Network. This is going to be an amazing game. Iowa, a 1-point favorite, and the lowest total in college football history. No, I'm not making that up. That is a real thing. The over-under for this game, it opened at 28. It's up to 28.5. Rutgers, Iowa. What's going to happen?
Can you believe that game last week? They won 10-7.
Yes.
Oh my God. I tell you what. And I'm a Hawkeye fan. You can't find somebody better to rank than this team.
They're 7-2.
Okay, you got Liberty out there, it's undefeated. You got James Madison out. I would put them in there instead of Iowa. I mean,
you know what's crazy? They're 7-2, and if not for a horrible call, they'd be 8-1.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
And they are helpless.
And they could very easily go 10-2.
They could easily go 10-2, no argument. They also could easily go 7-5.
They could win that side of the Big Ten.
But when you're in their situation they're in now,
I know
any game is winnable or losable.
They could.
No, they could for sure.
Can you imagine the Big Ten championship? Well, whoever goes in there from the West, it isn't going to matter.
No, I can't imagine it though.
Oh my God. 1 point, 28.5. I don't know this game goes over that.
I don't think it goes over. No.
Unless Rutgers. I think Rutgers is going to beat them. So I'm going to take Rutgers to win.
Do you think this it like 7-3?
No, I think no, because Rutgers can score a little bit. I think we're looking 17-13. That would go over.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I think Rutgers wins the game 21-3.
Oh, so you're picking Rutgers in a rout.
I think Rutgers is quite a bit better than Iowa, honestly.
I do think they're better. I don't think Rutgers' defense is great, so I think that's why I picked Iowa to score.
I don't know. I just feel like Iowa is horrible.
Oh, they are.
I mean, can you imagine paying $17 to watch Iowa?
Well, I think it'd be a neat place.
All right, yeah.
You get to wave to the kids up at the hospital. That'd be kind of.
That'd be okay. That's
if
true.
I lived I'm 17. That's reasonable.
Okay.
It depends on how cold it is. It depends. It says 47.
That's not bad.
2:30 in the afternoon. That's not too bad.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to Iowa. That settles it.
In the rain.
That settles it. We're going to Iowa to watch this game.
I like the Hawkeyes.
I really just can't believe how bad this has gotten.
I would like to go to Iowa and wear a sign that says Brian Ferentz is my favorite offensive coordinator.
All right. Well,
save Brian Ferentz's job. That's what I would like to do.
We're going Rutgers. Well, he got fired. He's out.
I know.
We got Rutgers, and we got the under.
Did he get fired, or did he just resign at the end of the season?
I thought he's gone now. I think he's
out. I think he's resigned at the end of the season.
Oh, okay. Well, what is it?
Not positive, I think.
All right, Stanford and Oregon State. A little bit of a snoozer compared to some of these we talked about. Yeah. Oregon State probably should get this done pretty easily, right?
They should.
Okay.
They're not a team though that blows people out. That's the thing. Stanford's been playing a little better. I'm a little afraid of that line. I'm gonna pick them to win, obviously, but I'm staying away from that. That they don't blow people out.
Yeah, I'd hate to lay 20.5.
Yeah,
Oregon State. I'm with you on that one. Okay, another huge game here. Georgia and Ole Miss. Georgia's a 10.5-point favorite here against Ole Miss. Ole Miss having a really nice season. They lost to Alabama, and in a game, boy, a lot of people thought maybe this is the year, and they didn't get it done. Yeah. Can they kind of circle the wagons here, get the win over Georgia? It's a Georgia team that hasn't been great, honestly. 10.5 points here for Georgia. What do you think?
No way in hell is Ole Miss going to beat Georgia.
I agree. I think
not going to happen. Nice try. Lucky to win last week over A&M.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a great Georgia team. Am I crazy to say I think Alabama's going to beat them if they get in the SEC championship game?
I don't think that's crazy. No, yeah. I don't think that's crazy.
Yeah.
But
I'm taking Georgia, I think they cover.
I do too. I think they smash Ole Miss, honestly. I really do. Ole Miss kind of just seems like one of those teams. They get in games like this, they just aren't going to win them. So,
no.
All right, here you go. You get to go crazy now. West Virginia. West Virginia coming to Norman. 6:00. Oklahoma down to number 17. They are a 13-point favorite here against West Virginia. Mm-hmm. All right, take it away.
Well, I'm not going to get into it much, but I've kind of calmed down a little bit. This is the maddest I've ever been after an OU football game.
You
weren't here.
Yeah. No, you were mad.
And I was by myself.
Yep, I could tell.
And I was pissed. And I don't like where we're headed. I'm not going to get into that, but we wasted a fantastic effort from our football team.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Our football team played their ass off. They're injured all over the place. Our defense was incredible.
Yep.
And we lost because we have an offensive coordinator that can't get out of his own way. And until that situation is settled, we're going to struggle.
Yep.
And until the head coach gets control of this, we're going to struggle.
Yep.
And I just don't like the way this is headed. I don't think they're going to win this week. It depends on, are they going to play or are they going to sit around and wallow in self-pity? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, the season's over. No, it's not. They still could get into the Big 12 championship. It would take some things to happen. But you know what? You win that last three and you go from 6-7 to 10-2. That's pretty damn good. And you probably could get in a New Year's Day bowl game.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to play for.
I will say, I don't really disagree with anything you said. We're all kind of not push back, but I just kind of try to give you some perspective on this. Well, to be serious, when you see, and I underestimated this as well, when you see the absolute disaster USC is,
I agree.
And you think that's what Venables took over at Oklahoma. Plus, Venables took over a weak program with a weak head coach who took all the best players with him to USC.
I agree.
Even though, I'm just as guilty of this. I thought, well, gosh, they look at their records over the last couple of years. There's no way we should be 6-7 last year. He took over a disaster. I think our program was in really bad shape.
I agree.
And I think when you see what's happening at USC, you kind of realize, you know what, this rebuilding thing was a lot more than I thought, because that's a disaster. We'll get to them in a second. That's a disaster.
I totally agree with you.
I just think he has put all his effort into fixing the defense and making this team tougher. And I think that has happened. I think the defense is better. And I don't think there's any doubt. We're tough. We're not very good, but they're tough. But what's happening on offense is a disaster.
That's what's irritating me. We're not very good.
Go ahead.
Yeah. We're not great, yet we should be 9-0 with any kind of offensive play calling. I don't care. I don't get on coaches. The play calling, the personnel packages we have, the people we have in the games at critical situations, there is no excuse for it. The running back situation is ridiculous. The wide receivers we throw out there at times is ridiculous. There's no explanation for it. And that's the only beef I have with Venables. You got to stand up and tell this guy, no, we're not running that play. Call something else.
Totally agree with everything you just said. No argument. My only thing that I could hope for is, look, the things that his hands have been all over, they're better. They're fixed.
Okay, but
but
right.
What I'm saying is, now is this the offseason where he says, okay, now we got to go get an offensive coordinator?
Well, that's what that we'll see. These next 3 games are going to tell us that. And I totally agree again on what you said. What he's put his guts into is fine. He's the head coach. He's not the defensive coordinator. Now, I know he had to do that. I get that.
But, okay, wouldn't you agree we had the worst defense in the entire country when he got there?
Yeah, I'm not arguing that.
Okay.
What he's done with the defense is incredible. But he's not the defensive coordinator. He's the head coach.
I agree.
And when you're standing over on the sidelines and it's 4th down and 5, and you run the play you run,
I agree.
You have to stand up as the head coach and say, what kind of shit is this? Call timeout. Find something better.
Well, the bottom line is OU should be, if OU had an offensive coordinator, they'd be 9-0.
I'm not saying
he's bad.
His play, yes. They don't know what they want to do, and we're in week 10. And you and I have seen almost every play of every game. We're going down there Saturday, and neither one of us has any idea what they're going to come out and try to do on offense, and that's ridiculous.
We don't even know who's going to play outside the quarterback.
They may pull some freshman running back that we hadn't played all year and starting.
Yeah.
Once again, Aaron, if that's the running back coach's decision, who's starting at running back, that's bullshit too. So,
well, you can let him make the decision, and as long as you agree with the decision, you can say, yeah, he made the decision. But if you disagree,
yes.
So, I mean, honestly and truly, and again, I was all over Venables last year. I'm not this year. I just feel like he had to get extremely hands-on with making them tougher and making them better.
I agree.
Defensively. And
had they, again, we talked about this last week, had they beat Texas, or had they played Texas close and lost, the expectations would not have been raised like they have. But the fact remains, since the Texas game, they have not improved.
No.
That is an issue. Why they haven't, I don't know. I'm not blaming that all on Venables because I know Venables has tried.
Well,
did they get the big head? Did they get the inflated egos? They could have.
I don't think so. I think they turned the ball over.
Yeah, they just started making mistakes.
They started making mistakes, and when you turn the ball over and you get behind, all of a sudden that play calling gets tougher, right?
Yep.
Look, I thought they lost the Kansas game when they didn't try to get a first down with 2 minutes to go. They need one first down to win. And I thought they lost the Oklahoma State
play.
Right. And I thought they lost the Oklahoma State game again after another not incredible, but a good defensive play.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma State runs a trick play. OU's not fooled. They get an interception. They run it back to the Oklahoma State 45. They're ahead 21-17. It's early in the fourth quarter. And Oklahoma runs the ball 3 straight times up the middle and punts. And it's just like, again, if you don't get any yards, but you let the quarterback throw one maybe or whatever, it is what it is. But you just run it 3 times at the middle and punt. And it's just like, you just lost the game right there. You know?
That just can't happen. You have to seize the momentum. You've got, if you score there, Oklahoma State has now been outscored 21-0. They had a 17-7 lead, and now you got them 28-17.
Game's over.
You got them out of their game plan.
It's over. Yep.
The game is probably over.
It is over.
This game is even worse. You have that game in your back pocket with 1 first down, and you do nothing to get it.
Yep.
And you go backwards, and there's too much Mickey Mouse behind the line of scrimmage passes. You're starting out, you throw the ball to somebody and he's 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. When you got a quarterback that can throw the ball. Now, in Levy's defense, the coordinator, we did have a touchdown pass dropped. That was dropped. That's 7. And let's not forget the non-call in the end zone on Drake Stoops. That they would have got the ball 1st and goal on the 2. Of course, we'd have run it 3 straight times up the middle. I don't know if we'd have scored or not. We may have gotten a damn false start. We may have got a holding penalty. That kind of stupidity. Or an unsportsmanlike conduct from one of our idiot linemen. You don't know. But, that would have been 14 more points right there. When you look at their statistics, they're very, very good. But they're not scoring enough points.
They're just not scoring enough. And honestly, the last part of it, you hate to hear it. Or you're going to hate to hear it. And I hate saying it. But offensively, they just don't have anybody that's...
No, they don't.
They don't have a game breaker.
They don't have that receiver that can...
Or running back.
Yeah, that's right.
And they don't... And Dylan Gabriel has been a blessing for us.
Yes.
He's not like a game changer, right?
No, he needs a lot of help. He needs people around him.
Oh, if you put like CeeDee Lamb on this team, he'd be fine.
Eric Gray from last year.
Sure. Yeah.
Eric Gray wasn't that, he's a good player, great player. So our offense is Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse it's just a goofy looking offense. It has been all year.
It has been for 2 years, but
listen, you take that drive away that Dylan Gabriel did to win that Texas game, and I don't know where we would be right now if you take that drive off this team. This is okay. We're going to find out everything you need to know about this team Saturday night. Because if they come out and they're not ready, West Virginia is pretty good. West Virginia should be 7-2. They had Oklahoma State beat. By the way, that's another team Oklahoma State's beat.
Well, they had Houston beat. Houston beat them on a Hail Mary.
They could easily be 8-1.
Yeah.
And they've only lost to Penn State. So, bottom line, West Virginia plus 13. OU may win, but I don't think they're going to cover.
Yeah, I'm taking West Virginia in the points as well. 13's a lot. Even if OU would have won last week, 13's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
Yeah, I'm taking West Virginia plus 13.
I'm shocked by that line.
I am too. And it's went up. So that's good news for us.
I guess so.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, Ohio State takes on Michigan State. This should be a laugher here.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on this?
Nope. Move along.
All right, Texas takes on TCU. It's at TCU. It's at night. Ewers is back for Texas.
No.
Texas 12-point favorite. What do you think?
No contest. Easy win. Texas.
Okay, I agree. I think Texas wins pretty easily. Florida goes down to LSU. LSU a 14.5-point favorite.
Two teams coming off losses. The LSU loss it stings. Florida's loss is worse. Sorry, Shoddy. But, they were heading for a decent season. They would have been, 6-3,
mm-hmm.
and kind of righting the ship a little bit, and losing to Arkansas really hurts. So 14.5, I think LSU covers.
All right. You're going to go LSU to cover. I agree. I don't like Florida at all. Duke and North Carolina, big game in football this year, not just basketball. North Carolina, 14.5-point favorite.
Yeah, it was a lot bigger a few weeks ago, but Duke has not looked good since that quarterback got hurt. Kind of agree with Kevin. 14.5 is a lot because North Carolina's not been playing with crap either. So I'm going to take Duke plus the points, but I think North Carolina wins.
I kind of disagree. I think North Carolina covers. I don't know. Duke's looked pretty bad since the quarterback got hurt. So,
yeah.
Okay. That's a tough one, though, because 14.5 is a lot, and North Carolina can't stop anybody.
Yeah, they're struggling.
All right. I'm going to go with you guys. I'll go plus 14.5. You guys flip me on it.
Okay.
All right. Final game. See, now we get to have fun. USC go on the road to take on Oregon. I'll be honest. This is the only game I got to watch a whole lot of last week.
Oh, you picked a good one.
Yeah, USC in Washington because it was on at the restaurant. Obviously, we were at. Okay, Oregon's a really good team, number one. I don't think even if USC was really rolling, I'm not sure they could go in there and beat them. 15-point favorites for Oregon. What are you expecting from USC this week?
I think if USC was rolling, they could go in and cover. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I think they're going to kill USC.
So they fire Alex Grinch.
That will make no difference.
I remember when OU fired Mike Stoops. I thought we were pretty much the same, but maybe a little tiny bit better.
Yeah, but I don't think we played Oregon.
That's the big difference. No, we did not. I don't know. You got a quarterback crying on his mom's arm in the stands.
Oh.
There's just look, and I get it. Like I would like a quarterback to be like really hurt. Did you get beat? I mean, that means he cares, but that was bizarre. I don't really care what anybody says. That was weird. Like I said, you fired defensive coordinator. It just seems like this is a mess. And now you got to go play Oregon.
Well, here's the deal. I thought they rallied around and played pretty good last week. They just couldn't stop Washington. I thought they what do you call it, circled their wagons and came out with a good effort against a good team.
Yeah.
How are they going to do that again? I don't think they can. And so I just don't see emotionally. You think those players give a shit that Alex Grinch got fired? They don't care.
No.
If I'm a player on the USC and I see my quarterback crying on my mother's shoulder, I'm on his mother's shoulder, I'm thinking, wow, this guy that paints his fingernails is really weird.
Listen, and I've seen the two sides of it. It's like, oh, there's been way too much made of this, or this guy's he's undraftable. I think it.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I think it lands in the middle. It's just like, a guy gets in the locker room or he goes over the sideline and he might be crying, or he put a towel over his head and he's crying or whatever. But just the optics of that was literally the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Me too. I've never seen it.
That's the other thing. I've never seen that ever. Now, I'm not talking about guys crying after a game. I'm talking about jumping up in the stands.
Yes.
Like going to hug your mom and just bawling. It's like, this is your third loss, number one, and number two, it's just like, that's weird. Like, you wouldn't, I don't know. I wouldn't want anybody to see me.
If you want to go in the locker room and cry like that, okay, that's okay.
Are you sure? Yeah, happens.
I got to tell you though, as a coach, you really don't want to see that.
I wouldn't
think it's the last game of the year. your senior year or something, and it's your last year, and you went out and played great and got beaten a tough game. Okay, that's okay.
I agree. Yep.
That's fine. Have no problem with that. Seen that a million times.
Yeah.
But this guy, he wants to be part owner of an NFL team, and he can't handle the loss. He's that, or was it all fake? I don't know.
See, that's the thing. It was so weird. And again, you take his helmet off. He's got a couple of tears, and he walks into the locker room. That's whatever. That happens every game. That was so bizarre that it's just I don't know what's going on here.
When the game was over, he went like a normal player and went to Penix, and they talked, and I guess then he went over to the stands, I guess, and my first thought was he's showboating. I'm sorry, but that's what I was thinking. My first thought was this is all fake. I'm serious. It's my first thought, and then I thought, no, he's not really doing himself any good doing this,
I don't know what it was. If it was,
I don't think it's going to hurt somebody drafted him. I don't think that's going to matter.
Back to this game and everything that Oregon's been about, and Dan Lanning has tried to do, build it's a tough program. They've kind of got that reputation. They're kind of ass kickers, Yep. Tough, play defense. Then you got this pansy ass, soft as shit program at USC. Does this not feel like,
Nobody likes them either.
No, does this not feel like they're going to get murdered up there?
I think they're going to get killed. I'll be surprised.
Because I don't really know how he's going to rally the troops.
Not. There's no troops to rally. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They're not good enough. I think they're going to get beat by 30.
I think you're right. And I think firing the defensive coordinator might give them a little bit of a, we might play a little harder, maybe.
Oh, they put Brian Odom in there, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think it's Brian or Barry Odom. He used to coach at Missouri.
Yeah.
And I think he was at OU too.
I think Odom, he's not bad.
He's better. Yeah. But here's the thing about Grinch. He came into OU as highly regarded. Mm-hmm. He was the number one defensive coordinator prospect. Mm-hmm. And they went out and got him. And now he's nothing. I don't know if he can get a D2 job. He's not going to get a coordinator job, I don't think.
Well, what's really weird is Mike Stoops was pretty damn highly regarded, and that got ruined real quick. And then Grinch came in, and now he was highly regarded. Now he's ruined real quick. I mean, I think we got to look in the mirror, don't we? I mean, I don't know what the answer is, but this is a disaster. I mean, even like the most positive USC fan, they got to be looking at this because this is a disaster.
I think so.
It's unorganized. It's just a mess. And you got shit going on. So this is just bizarre. I don't know. I didn't see it happen. I didn't know anything about it. And then Jared on the way to the airport was like, "Have you seen this shit?"
I didn't see it either until I saw it.
I said, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." He goes, "Evidently, like, Caleb Williams is like balling in the stands." I'm like, "What?" Looked at that and I thought, that is weird.
It was weird. Total weirdness.
Look, I get it. Some people are sticking up for him. That's fine. I'm not saying he's worthless or anything. I'm just saying I've never seen that.
It's strange.
So. Anyway, we're both going to Oregon.
Slightly.
Okay. Any other games before we go through these NFL games in 2 seconds?
Not really.
Okay. You got nothing.
We got to get to the exciting NFL, and we've got one to begin with tonight.
Absolutely. Do you think Arkansas is going to beat Auburn this week?
I do.
I do too.
I'm picking the Razorbacks.
I think the Razorbacks go into that game, last game of the year at Missouri, 5-6 with a shot at a bowl.
I do too.
I don't know if they win or lose or whatever, but I think that's what's going to happen.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go up to Missouri and beat them.
Well, no, it's at Arkansas.
Oh, it's at Arkansas?
So, yeah.
Oh, I definitely think they can beat them.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready to get excited?
I can't. It's been on my mind all day.
Is the anticipation killing you? We're going to do this in 5 minutes. That's the goal.
Okay.
The NFL. Here we go, and we're kicking it off. This is the true reason why you didn't come on the show this morning.
This was going to be my best bet.
The Panthers and the Bears. Who you got? Chicago's 3.5-point favorite.
I was going to have the Bears to cover, but it was 3 this morning.
I took the Panthers.
I've got something to do tonight. Thank God. So this will not be on my TV at all.
No, me neither. 100% no. You're taking Bears. I'm taking Panthers. Okay.
So that's dog game number 1. Okay.
Now, are you ready to get up early to watch this dandy of a game over in Germany? The Colts take on the Patriots.
No, this is dog game number 2.
Okay.
Colts are favored. Just for the hell of it, I'll take the Patriots.
I'll take the Colts. We are against each other, my friend. Here we go. All right, here's a team that's playing pretty decent. Against actually, this is 2 teams that are not horrible to watch. The Texans and the Bengals. I think the Texans are very sneaky. They're playing good right now.
They are.
Stroud playing very good. I actually like to watch this team. Bengals are doing what they did last year. They're coming around.
Yep.
6.5-point favorites here for Cincinnati. Who you got?
I think the Bengals are going to win. I think it's too many points. Taking Houston plus 6.5, but Cincinnati's going to win.
All right. I'm going to take, we're against each other again. I'll take the Bengals to cover this one. I think they're starting to come around.
Oh, I do too. I just think Houston might give them a game.
That's fair. Saints and the Vikings. Both teams somehow are 5-4. Either team really doesn't scream excitement. Josh Dobbs gets a very improbable win. He'd been there like 2 days, and then the Vikings win last week. Their guy they started got hurt. What do you think in Minnesota here? The Saints are the favorites.
I think the Vikings, that was a hell of a win for them last week. They've won 4 in a row. Man, Cousins hadn't got hurt. This team would be on a roll.
Yeah.
The Saints, who is their quarterback? They bounce around so much.
Derek Carr for the Saints.
Oh, he is back.
Yep.
3 points in Minnesota. I'm a Vikings guy. Give me the Vikings. We're going to be disagreeing again.
Nope. I'll take the Vikings.
All right.
I think Dobbs was actually decent-ish in Arizona on a really bad team. So I think he can make enough plays. All right, here we go. Packers and the Steelers. Definitely a uniform game. Both these teams' uniforms scream NFL. Steelers sitting here 5-3. We say this every week. I mean, what a job. Again, they really don't have a lot of talent. Packers suck. Pittsburgh's 3.5-point favorites. I guess Steelers will win this game, right?
Me too. I'm going Steelers. I think they're better.
Okay, Titans and the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are 1-point favorite at home here against the Titans.
Another shitty game. Can Tampa get back up after losing, scoring 37 points and getting beat? But Tennessee's not very good.
Yeah.
Do you realize had Tampa won that game, they'd be 4-4 with a chance to go 5-4 in that bad division.
Yeah, I know.
But they didn't.
Nope.
I'm going to go Tennessee.
I will go Tennessee as well. I'm with you on that one. Okay, the Purdy, the real Brock Purdy, he may be there. We may be seeing him. Yeah. 49ers really struggling. They go on the road. They are 3-point favorites against Jacksonville. Who you got?
Is what's his name, the receiver, going to play? Do you know?
Debo, let's see what the latest is on him. Well, I clicked on the wrong thing.
I don't have anything.
No, they'll have it. They have the latest. I just haven't checked it today.
Yeah, that's okay.
He's not on the injury report.
So that means he's going to play. That's why they're that's why they're 3-point favorites, probably. Yep. Trent Williams still on there though. I'm going to take the Jaguars.
Who? I don't really like either of. I'll take the 49ers. I'm going to take 49ers.
Right.
I think they bounce back. Here's a pretty good game. The Browns and the Ravens. I think the Ravens, them and the Eagles probably look like the 2 best teams right now, in my opinion.
Yep.
They're Ravens are 6.5-point favorites at home here against Cleveland. Do you think Cleveland comes in here and gives them a game?
I do. I think Baltimore wins, though. I think it's too many points. So I'm going to go. I think this one's got a 20-17 type look to it. The Ravens been playing great. Give me the Browns plus the points, but Baltimore is going to come out of there 8-2.
All right. I agree with both those takes. I think you're right. I think that's going to be a pretty tight game. Atlanta goes on the road, take on the Cardinals. Battle of the Birds here. Falcons are 2-point favorites against the hapless Cardinals.
Do the Cardinals still care if they do?
How could they?
I know. I know. But, they played awful last week. Huge game for Atlanta. Huge. They can win that sorry division.
Yeah.
Do you have any confidence in them? I don't.
No.
I don't have any confidence in Atlanta at all.
I agree.
But the Cardinals, I guess I'll take the Falcons, but God, find something else to bet, people.
If you were going to watch this game, you might have mental issues. I'll take
the one tonight.
Well, that is definitely true. Lions and the Chargers. Lions are 3-point favorites on the road in Los Angeles. Probably be a home game for the Lions, though.
Yeah. Chargers playing better. Lions stunk it up last time. Do I dare take the Chargers? I got them right 2 weeks in a row.
You have.
Oh, man, this is a hard one for me. I want to take the Chargers, pick another upset. I'm going to go Chargers.
Detroit beats them easy. Won't even be a game. All right, Giants. Giants on the road taking on the Cowboys. Oh, these poor Giants. Cowboys are 17-point favorites.
I believe that's the biggest spread I've seen this year.
I think it is. Yeah.
And they're 5-3.
Yeah, they're really not that good. Yeah, I know.
Giants plus 17. I don't know how they can do it, though.
There's no way you can get those words to come out of my mouth. So I will take that.
Hey, the Cowboys played pretty good in Philly. They might be a little flat.
This is listen. Because of Saratoga and you know, I know some people. Well, in my family up there as well, they're Giants fans. It's just bad. It's just bad. Yeah, bring him the number 1 pick. Yeah, maybe you guys could get Caleb Williams.
I don't think Caleb can handle that New York media. Do you?
Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
What would they have done to him in New York? We've been doing stuff like that.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. Yeah, give me the Cowboys in that game. All right, Commanders, the team I never get right. They're on the road taking on the Seahawks. Seahawks are 6.5-point favorite. I mean, to me, the Seahawks should cover, but
yeah.
What do you think?
I think you're going to get them right this week if you take the Seahawks.
Okay. You promise?
I don't know. 6.5 is a lot of points.
Uh-huh.
That's the problem.
I think Seahawks win. Give me the Seahawks. All right, Jets and the Raiders. Oh, yeah, this is what we've been waiting for. A little bit of Sunday night action as well to see this 10-3 game. This is like putting Iowa and Rutgers on primetime Sunday night. What do you think? Jets are 1-point favorites here in Las Vegas. What do you think?
Don't you think the Raiders ought to be favored?
I would think so. Yeah.
Jets aren't very good. The Raiders are coming off a big win.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Raiders all the way. This is an easy one for me.
Well, nothing's easy, but I would take the Raiders. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I thought the Raiders, they played decent last week, I thought.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Raiders.
It might have been Arizona. No, Cleveland beat Arizona. I forget who the Raiders beat. They beat
all in on the Raiders. Doesn't matter. Raiders going to be ready. All right. Final one. This is actually a little interesting to me. The Broncos, fresh off a win against Kansas City. We get Russell Wilson at primetime. That's cool. They are going to take on the Bills, who suck something fierce. The Bills are 7-point favorites. I don't know. They should win, right?
They should. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think? Do you think the Bills are going to win?
I do think they're going to win. I don't
too.
know if they're going to beat them by 7. You know, Denver played really well the other day.
Did they?
Well, yeah, they played hard.
Okay.
I know the Chiefs were god awful. They were.
Yeah.
By the way, they didn't look a whole lot better the other day either.
No. Mm-mm.
I'm going to take the Bills to cover.
Me too. Give me the Bills.
That Monday night spotlight's going to get them. You know, they're going to get ready to go.
Can't wait.
I don't think they're very good, though.
The Bills?
Yes.
They suck.
Yeah, they're not very good.
They suck. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's it. That's all we've got. We've made it through the NFL. We made it through the Breeders' Cup. We made it through John Hernandez. We made it through college football. Oh, anything else you want to talk about before we leave?
I'm going tonight to see one of the best people I've ever taught and ever known.
Okay.
Little gal that played at where I coached is in college now, and she's playing over here in Joplin tonight. Her team's coming to Joplin to play, and I'm going to go watch her play. I'm looking forward to seeing her. Really good little player. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. So
cool.
Looking forward to it.
Like it. That'll be fun.
Yep.
Yeah. How many? I've never been to a game over where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
It's for people that don't know, it's like a small Christian college here in town. How many people go to those games, do you think?
Well, I have no idea. It's it's a girls' game. I'm assuming very few.
100?
It's kind of a pretty gym. It's not very big, but it's all chairbacks.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing really. It didn't seat very many. I'd say maybe 1,200, maybe.
Do you think as far as people in the door tonight, what do you think?
400.
400. I think that'd be a good crowd.
Well, there's going to be a lot of people. Well, there won't be that many people. Sarcoxy will have 50 to 75 there.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So, it's just a girls' game too. There's no boys' game. So
tougher draw. Yep.
Yeah. Let's go down to 300.
Okay. Well, I will not be one of those, but you will.
Well, I know. I just think I wouldn't go if I didn't live here.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But it's 5 minutes from where I live, and I hate to give up the Bears and the Panthers, but
right. Yes. You live 5 minutes from the school, yeah. So that's one thing.
That's right. And
By the way, first time I saw you out in town. That would have been 2 days ago. So there you go.
Where was that at?
I was coming back from a doctor's appointment, and I was going down, I don't know, whatever, Maiden Lane or whatever that road is, and saw you. You're driving the other way.
Sure, that was me?
Yeah, it was you. You're in the red truck. Yep.
What the heck was I doing over there, I wonder?
I don't know, but I saw you. So there you go. First time I've seen you out in town. So there you go.
All right.
I may not have been Maiden. You were heading over towards Webb City. I don't know. But
yeah, I think I'd been. What day was that?
That would have been Wednesday. Yesterday. Yeah.
Sure, it wasn't on Florida.
Could have been.
Okay.
Could have been. I don't know. I don't know the roads. Yeah, no, I had my yearly. By the way, all the tests come back good. I'm good for another year.
You went to the doctor?
Yeah, clean bill of health. No, Heather makes me go. I've been every year for the last 4 years now. Yeah, so 5 years.
You want to know a funny story? And then we got to get off here because I got to get going.
Okay.
I'm old enough to be on Medicare, okay?
Okay.
And Medicare is supposed to be this wonderful, cheap. So this is really good news. So went to get Sandy's health insurance renewed because it's on Obamacare. You have to renew it every year. So we went to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that her insurance is cheaper than mine on Medicare?
Oh, wow. No.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it went way down.
What? That's good.
Oh, excellent news. So,
yeah. Well, there you go. You can
Great.
go to the doctor.
Yep. And we still love it over here in Joplin, by the way.
That's good. That's good. You've made it 3 or 4 weeks, or a couple months now.
Couple months. And,
yeah.
6 weeks.
I was telling Jared you love it here, and I said the thing about that he doesn't understand is where he's living is just went downhill so bad that he's come over here to an actual town, and it's like, wow, this is great.
Yeah, it's nice. The people are nice. Really enjoy it so far.
Yep. Good times. All right. Well, that's it.
That's it.
All we got. Yep. We're gonna.
I think I'm going to be on in the morning too.
Well, there you go. Tune in tomorrow morning. We will be back tomorrow.
I think I'm 7 tomorrow.
Great. Sounds good. All right. We're going to get off here, guys. Everybody have a great rest of your night. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for Dudes Who Bet Daily.
This is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports. It's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports. Time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.